I'd spent too long in the city. The noise gnawed at my skull. The endless concrete felt like it was closing in, suffocating me. So when I found the old house, quiet, cheap, I didn't hesitate. What really sold me, though, was the garden. It was wild and sprawling, waves of green grass spilling over cracked stone paths. Weeds choked what used to be flower beds, long dead and forgotten, and at the very edge of it all there was a bench. Old, warped wood, grey paint peeling away in strips, half sunken as if it had grown up from the earth itself. That first evening, with dusk bleeding purple across the sky, I dropped onto the bench. My boots sank into the damp sod beneath me. The air was cool and the crickets hummed softly. For just a moment I thought, maybe I'd found peace. About a week later, while unpacking boxes, I felt it. The garden was watching me, not just swaying in the wind, not just shadows and tricks of the light. No, it pressed at the windows with a strange green glow, like it was leaning in. Curious, I went outside and sat on the bench again. It groaned under my weight, long and low, as if it was remembering. Then I saw it. The grass flinched, sharp, quick. Blades of it rippled away from my feet. I laughed it off. City nerves, I figured. But there was something else. The hum. It wasn't just the crickets anymore. It ran deeper, like it was under my skin, a low vibration crawling into my bones. I tried to brush it off and locked the door behind me. Against what? I didn't know. The next day I met Pani Kay. She was there by the fence, half blind, older than the house itself, leaning hard on the sagging wood. Her voice rasped like dry leaves. Her tea-stained fingers trembled as she pointed straight at the bench. It remembers, she warned me. They sat too long, then gone. Shadows first, then the rest. I couldn't help myself. I smirked. Superstitious nonsense, I thought. Folk tales from a Poland I'd never known. Keep off it, she muttered, shuffling back to her porch. I shook my head, but her words stuck, like a splinter. One I couldn't dig out, no matter how hard I tried. Evenings became routine. I'd sit on the bench, cigarette smoke curling into the fading light, watching the grass glint under the dim sky. A month in, I noticed it, the blades leaning toward me, even on windless nights. Once, I nudged a blade with my boot and felt it curl back alive. The hum grew louder, burrowing beneath the floorboards when I tried to sleep. In the attic, I found a journal, its yellowed pages filled with Pani Kay's shaky scrawl. The garden remembers, the bench hungers, it takes what sits. I laughed and tossed it aside, but the next morning, it was back on the shelf, open, its pages damp. 3 weeks ago, the whispers began. I was sitting on the bench at dusk, heavy and thick, when the grass rippled fast and glowed too green, like algae under glass. A voice rose, low and wet. You're late. I froze, cigarette slipping from my fingers. The hum spiked, rattling my skull. I grabbed a shovel, stabbed it into the earth beside the bench. The soil parted too easily, soft and damp like rot. It struck wood, planks, not roots. A trapdoor, slick with moss. I pried it open. Below, a narrow room spiraled into darkness, the air thick with decay and something sweeter like fruit gone bad. I descended, flashlight trembling. The walls pulsed with green veins, glistening and alive. At the center, a mound loomed, packed earth, woven with grass. I kicked it, soft, warm, wrong. Then a hand burst from the mound, grey, skeletal fingers clutching a rusted knife. A skull followed, eyeless, grinning, moss clinging to bone. The whispers roared, sit again. I snatched the knife as it fell and swung at the bench above. Wood splintered, paint flaking like ash. Clawing my way up, I slammed the trapdoor shut and nailed it closed with scavenged boards, heart pounding like thunder. Morning broke grey. The garden looked duller, the grass flat, the bench cracked where I'd struck it. I thought it was over. I was wrong. That night, the hum returned, low, vibrating in my chest. In the shed, I found the knife missing, a trail of wet earth snaking inside. Pani Kay's house stood empty, windows dark, porch sagging. In my sink, I found a teacup, cold, its leaves clinging like a warning. I don't drink tea, never have. The grass rustled under the floorboards, creeping up through cracks. I stopped sitting, couldn't risk it anymore. Days blurred. The whispers slipped into my dreams, green threads stitching my name into the dark. A week ago, I burned the bench, watched it flare bright green before crumbling to ash. It didn't help. Last night I saw it, something standing where the bench had been, too tall, too still, its shadow stretching across the lawn where no shadow should fall. The grass creeps closer now, piercing the floorboards, brushing my boots if I stand too long. I should have listened to the twitching grass, the hum to Pani K's words. It remembers. Me, her, the ones before, all of us who sat too long. Now, evening falls again. The garden glints green and endless, whispering my name. The house groans, floorboards splitting beneath me. I'll leave soon. I have to. But I keep looking out toward where the bench once stood, where something still waits. I sat too long.